Good morning. This is Robert Sijpesteijn bringing you this morning's market update. Starting in the US, the market was surprised yesterday with an announcement from Google, which sees Google Inc. reorganizing into a holding company that gives its main web operations greater independence whilst offering investors more visibility into ambitious plans to expand new business, including health and internet access. Alphabet Inc. will be the name of the new conglomerate. Google Inc., along with YouTube, Android mobile software and other web-based products such as Google Maps will be a key part of that. The new structure is not to create a consumer brand, but create greater clarity for the investors to see where R&D is being invested into. The news has been welcomed, with aftermarket price increasing by 11%. Taking a look at the US indices, the Wall Street rose 229 points, closing at 17,599. The US 500 gained 26.82 points, ending the day at 2,106.73, while the US Tech 100 finished on 4,586 after climbing 64.75 points. Moving over to commodities, gold closed above $1,100 for the first time in 3 weeks and has continued its rise this morning, currently pricing at just over $1,113. Brent crude was also on the rise yesterday, closing at $50.21 a barrel after gaining 190 points. Moving to Europe, we have news this morning that Greece has agreed on a deal with its creditors, which will see them gain a third bailout. This is set to be voted on by national parliaments prior to a payment which is due to the ECB on August 20th. After almost 2 weeks of intensive talks, the 4 institutions representing Greece's creditors, the ECB, the IMF, the European Commission and the European Stability Mechanism Rescue Fund, agreed on measures and prior actions that will unlock some 86 billion euros in funds for Greece. Greece's parliament must now pass the reform or fiscal requirements before a meeting of euro area finance ministers tentatively scheduled for Friday. A draft of the memorandum of understanding includes 35 so-called prior actions the country must pass immediately, with more measures to follow in October before aid can be released. The Germany 30 yesterday rose 92.3 points, however since the open from today has removed the majority of those gains, currently down 94 points at around 11,509. The UK 100 in a similar situation climbed 18 points yesterday, but as of this morning has lost 34.5 points, currently pricing at 6,702.8. In FX news, China devalued the yuan by the most in 2 decades, a move that rippled through global markets as policymakers stepped up efforts to support exports and boost the role of market pricing in Asia's largest economy. The central bank cut its daily reference rate by 1.9% to 6.32 per dollar as of 1:34 p.m. in Shanghai. This triggered the yuan's biggest one-day drop since China unified official and market exchange rates in January 1994. The People's Bank of China called the change a one-time adjustment and said it will strengthen the market's ability to determine the daily fixing. This has caused for European government bonds to rise as China tries to combat an economic slowdown, boosting demand for fixed income assets. In today's corporate news, the FCA decides not to impose a financial penalty on Co-op Bank. Card Factory reports total sales growth of 8% in the first half of 2015, and Just Retirement and Partnership Assurance, 2 annuity providers, have announced a tie-up. Serco has also announced an operating loss of 24.8 million. In today's market data, the US releases at 1:30 the unit labour costs for quarter 2 as well as the non-farm productivity. That's all for today's market update. Thank you and goodbye.